in yesterday's session on race and health, the topic of racism came up. And I was wondering what the research is or what's happening with Sesame Street and other programs to help children cope with racism. Because this was something that happened to me as a kid. And I don't want, it makes it, hopefully would be easier for other children to be able to deal with it and talk about it as adults.
Well, I'll take that. One of the things, as I mentioned, Sesame has a long history of inclusion, diversity, the first multiracial cast. And so that's something that is embedded in every single thing we do. We are always showing respect for differences, respect for others. There's a wonderful clip years ago of Whoopi and Elmo talking about loving the color of their skin and their fur. And around helping children have empathy, understanding, mutual respect, respect for differences is something that's embedded in everything. It's not just about race, even autism. If you look at our autism initiative, that was as much about giving young children with autism a character they could relate to on Sesame with Julia, and we were creating content for families with children with autism to make everyday moments easier. But the second goal, which was as important, was to help neurotypical children and all children see the commonalities, not just the differences, to have more empathy and understanding. And we track that, and I am so proud of the difference we're making in destigmatizing. So our work in South Africa on Takalani Sesame, again, that's a country where racism is still a huge, huge issue, and it's embedded in the curriculum in terms, again, just of respect, commonality, focusing on those shared experiences, not just differences. But at this point in Sesame Street and Communities, there's not a particular body of content that is about racism per se, but I hope that helps answer in how we approach.
And at the Children's Place, I'm not sure of the demographics at the Children's Place in Kansas City. When trauma related to racism, when it comes up, what are the tools that you have?
Well, and what I appreciate about Sesame Street, it's sort of the modeling of what we want it to look like. Again, it's how much are we recognizing that we are all unique, but yet we all share commonalities. And it's that power of creating relationships that happens. And so for us, our staff is very, very diverse, so that children who may associate a certain, characteristic with their abuser, that they will meet someone that's similar to that, so they can somewhat learn that not everybody that looks this way or speaks this way will hurt them. And I think this is what Sesame Street and Communities offers, is that it's diverse. And you will find someone you connect to. All of you connect to a Muppet differently. You find something that you relate to. He may look like you or he may not, but you find a common internal characteristic. And that's what we want children to know, is that you get to know people, you hear their stories, and you get to know them for who they are, not what they look like.